You see the title. I said it. I had to say it. Guys, this was better than Raw. Raw was boring. I'm just going to say this about Raw. I didn't believe anything Trish Stratus was saying. And when I've heard Just Alex and JD say, we haven't heard any reports that Vince is involved, look at that segment. It didn't feel right. On top of that, how much titty did she show? Guys, Vince's trademark, even if it's subtle, is giving us something we really don't really care that much about and it feels boring, and tits and ass. Look at Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley. That feels empty, particularly that Bobby Lashley is working with Austin Fury again, who he's faced multiple times. The only thing that was good was the bloodline. I didn't care about Judgment Day beating up on Rey. I didn't care about, pretty much Solo Sikoa beat the hell out of Rey. And then Judgment Day afterward. And then Judgment Day trying to deal with Sami and look, the end of the show was okay because the bloodline was there. But we still don't feel anything from Raw. But look at NXT. It's not perfect. I've never said it is. It's an okay show. But this is better television than Raw. This is better television than Raw. And I'm not even saying again, like I said last week, the week before, that this is even great television. This is Shawn Michaels mostly booking it if he's allowed to book it completely. This is Shawn. As I said, Shawn is taking a little bit of Triple H and a little bit of old style Vince and is presenting you this. Opening a triple threat for the tag titles. Wasn't a bad match. Gallus, Creed, and Dyad. Now, I knew that the Creeds were not going to win. I could feel the Creeds weren't going to win. It was either going to be Gallus retaining or they were going to actually move forward with Dyad through the schism. I wasn't sure if they would actually drop it. But due to the fact they are still working with schism, they're getting closer. Creeds already had their moment. They already did. Now look what happened. Ivy Nile getting nailed and Julius checking on her was the reason they lost. Was it a good way to her lose? It was to protect them, yes. So they are still valuable as a tag team. But I wasn't surprised they weren't not going to win because I felt they wasn't supposed to. That's not a bad thing, but it was obvious. Next, Noam Dar versus the Jobber. Bourne, I believe his name is Bourne, not Bourne. Bourne, the two-time... Let me give it to you like this. Did I watch NXT UK and Noam Dar? No. But I do understand the Heritage Cup is important. And he's a two-time champ. And they're trying to incorporate that into NXT. Will it work? It's not working. I'm saying it right now. It is not working because the Heritage Cup must be won on NXT, not NXT UK. Or NXT Europe if they're going to redo it again, which I don't even know if they are. At this point, we don't even know if NXT Europe is going to be started. Because I haven't heard anything about it. Not since Vince was gone for at least the first 3 to 4 months. And then they were talking about it. And now it's just quiet, squashed. I don't know if they're going to do it. Maybe they will. I don't know. But the cup doesn't feel important until Shawn Michaels takes it from Allendar and then runs it there on NXT TV. It's the only way I'm going to buy it. It's not that Allendar isn't a good wrestler. It's that I haven't seen it on NXT TV. And I did not watch UK. So that's the best way. Restart it again. If you're going to have him be a three-time champ, fine. Just give it to Shawn. Take it away from him. I'm just saying. Alright. Zoe Stark versus a Roxanne Perez. Now, this is supposed to help Roxanne get rebuilt back up. Admittedly, because of what happened later in the night, this felt like was rushed. I'm being honest. This felt rushed. Not the match itself, but the rise. Because the match was alright. It's not like they both have bad chemistry. They're fine. And I didn't expect Zoe to win. She's been losing lately, even though she's been showing she can beat the crap out of anybody. That's just me. But I'm not surprised. She did not win here. Now, Gigi Golden versus Cora Jade. Let's make it clear. Cora Jade was going to win. They are very high in Cora Jade. There's no way Gigi Golden was going to win. Particularly that we still have her dealing with JC James. She's still dealing with her. And I'm going to say this. Which promo was better? The one that Gigi cut that was in front of Cora Jade in the interview, or JC James? I believe hers is better, JC, the latter. Because she did mention Gigi's family, talking about her 7-year-old brother not trying to take care of him and running away. If you're going to build her up, you're going to have someone else do it for her. And that is where James is it. That's what her job is. She needs to do it. That's the way it goes. And I believe that's the best way to figure it out. That way. I do wish that the feud is over, but they're going to need a stipulation match that's going to make one of them leave NXT. It's the only way. Now, almost forgot. Booker T got taken out. Now, again, this is twice that Booker T was involved in the match due to the fact of someone throwing someone else over the announce table, and pretty much he gets nailed for a second time. I wonder if this is going to be an ongoing gag when it comes to NXT and it comes to Booker T, that once in a while he may not get in the ring, but to make it feel important, that the commentator has to get wiped out because they're trying to put over the feud. This might be what you're getting. Now, mind you, I don't want to see it done anymore for at least a good 3 to 4 months. But if they do it again within the next couple of weeks, it's going to get done very quickly for me personally. I'm just saying. All right. Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker takes out Odyssey Jones. No problem. Braun Breaker is confronted by Duke Hudson because he's trying to say that he's a nobody, but because he has a he's the MVP of Chase University, he has the right to speak. And Braun says, oh, you're going to really do something? I saw the last time I was about to whoop your ass. What did you do? You ran away with the damn cup. He said, you are trying to mess up my honor, sir. So you will be at spring break-in going up against one of the greatest and most prestigious member of Chase U. And pretty much Braun said, do you believe you and stand a chance against me? He says, not me. It's Andre Chase. Again, he bitches out. But there's a reason. I do believe Andre's about to get destroyed, and you're going to see exactly what we've been waiting for. We're going to see Duke take the spot of an Andre Chase while he recovers and molds Chase U to its own will. That's the way it looks. The second best match of the night. Dijak versus Apollo. Now, I'm not saying they have great chemistry. They don't. But at least there is somewhat of a story because they're both kind of trying to jockey for the draft. These are the only two that are mentioning the draft. You got Dijak mentioning the draft and kind of Apollo elaborating on it, even though he got involved in it because the cameraman got laid onto the floor because Dijak was getting annoyed because of what was going on with Dragunov. Match was fine. In the end, I'm not surprised Dijak won because I didn't expect Apollo to job here. Other than, how can I say this? I knew he was going to job, but he wasn't going to job screwy. I knew Apollo's going to job. There's no way he's going to job dirty. He has to job clean. He had to lose. And then Dragunov comes out to mess with a Dijak, and now we're going to have this. Do I believe they're actually doing anything with any of the European wrestlers? Not yet. They keep getting to a certain level and they get knocked down. I don't like that. I want to see them in an important role and they stick there with good stories. They keep getting up to near the point where they need good stories to stay where they are, and then they get knocked down very quickly. That's just me, guys. Tell me below. The best match, Wes Lee versus Charlie Dempsey. It was a damn good match. For me personally, seeing that Drew Gulak is the mentor on eventually going to the tag division. I do believe these two will go into the tag division of NXT, which won't be a bad thing. But seeing that he's mentoring Charlie, I'm fine with that. In the end, he lost. Charlie lost, but I'm fine with that. And I gotta say this. The beatdown was fine. But I wish Carter was there. Which he was. I wish his old partner was there. I wish he would be allowed to come back. And that would be the ultimate challenge for Wes Lee. To face his old partner in a match for his North American Championship. That's what I think. Now, also, Pretty Deadly, dealing with the family. I know I could say the Tony D'Angelo family. I'm calling them a family. The family basically have been challenged to a trunk match. Whoever wins has to put their opponent inside of a trunk of a car. And they were planning about how they're going to do it. And try to do it the old-fashioned way. That once they put you in the trunk, there have been some instances. They mainly throw the cars into the river. To make sure that once they take care of you, they really take care of you. That's what they're trying to say. I'm just saying. I'm going to tell you this. Did I enjoy the Grayson Waller effect? I'm going to say this. And I'm not talking about Briggs. I'm not talking about Jensen, Fallon, or Kiana James. I'm leaving that alone. I'm going to leave it. I'll have my thoughts for when they have their match next week. But I want to say this. When you look at the Grayson Waller effect, compared to the Miz's show, compared to Kevin Owens' show, compared to Chris Jericho's show, the only one that it comes on par easily with is Chris Jericho, because at least he went with trends. He made sure that his shows had at least some edginess to it and had something that is modern. When it came to Edge, not really. When it came to The Miz particularly, he's played it out so much. He's going by how media was back in the 2000s. He's stuck. Like when you talk about Late Night with Johnny Carson compared to the Jay Leno show. Carson versus Jay Leno weren't even comparable. Even though they used the same format, Jay Leno was way better than Johnny Carson. If you don't know what that means. But I'm telling you this. When you look at the Miz's show, Miz TV, compared to the Grayson Waller effect, it is very old style, very played out, very old. Needs to be revamped. And you look at Grayson Waller, who is using literally feeds from Twitter, using an extra shot in the frame that would be probably considered live streamed. And I'm not saying it is, but at least it looks like they would do something like that on Twitch. Like they would live stream it on YouTube. Something that is now current staple of current social media. And that I truly appreciate, and I like it way more. Now, sometimes I don't want to see any of that. I just want them to take it away sometimes. But it is way more modern, way more better than what we would ever get in WWE. Flat out. Now, did their banter between each other, Carmelo Hayes and Grayson Waller, work? Somewhat. It wasn't bad. But I'm telling you this. I am interested in the match they're going to have. But unless Grayson Waller really wins the title, it's exactly what I've been saying. All European wrestlers, including Australian, have not gotten anywhere except when it came to Indy Hartwell. Let's make this clear. I'm going to go to them next. When it came to the male European wrestlers, they've gotten almost nowhere. Nowhere fast. McDonough hasn't gotten anywhere. Dragunov hasn't gotten anywhere. Grayson Waller's come very close but hasn't gotten anywhere. I'm waiting to see someone get somewhere, but that's just me. Finally, We have Indy Hartwell, we have Roxanne Perez who won her match, and then we have a little Tiffany Stratton coming out, getting annoyed that she's not the one who's next, and that Indy Hartwell is no match for her. So Indy pretty much got pretty pissed off, and it was not at Roxanne. She thanked her for pushing her, and they're going to have their match at Spring Breaking. But once Tiffany came out, she pissed her off, and she made it very clear. I don't care if you're a former champion or a wannabe champion. I'm going to show you I'm a fighting champion. Triple threat at Spring Breaking. Not bad. Now, the booking here is not perfect. It isn't. Now, I did see the new guy. I'm not going to mention anything about him. Maybe he will be at Spring Breaking. I'm not talking about him, even though we saw him throwing a whole bunch of stuff in a field. Well, I think it was on the football field, showing how strong he is. Not going there. I'm going to leave it alone. But generally speaking, here in NXT, we are getting new people coming in. We're getting generally fresh storylines. We're getting good character development. Not great, but okay to good character development. And we're getting good matches. But we got on Raw. Boring. Flat out. So this is a show. Nothing is perfect. It's not greatest TV, but it's way better than Raw. It is better than Raw. Not boring. It's mostly predictable. Yes. Mostly interesting. Yes. Mostly exciting. Yes. But we're talking about mostly compared to boring. I'm just saying that. And I hope you enjoyed this NXT review. Please give me a comment below. I am considering, if I have the time, to do an Impact Diary of Trey Miguel. Please tell me below if you want to watch it. Peace.